Hello and welcome everybody to our webinar today, where we want to present the very new Irisity Certify app. I want to welcome Liv to this webinar, who is from Irisity, and we have the honor to listen to her. Hello, Liv.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Okay. Yeah, and we will present together today this very new functionality in the MOBOTIX cameras. Before we start actually with our presentations, I want to give you some information, some background information first. This is a recorded webinar. Yeah, so this means this webinar will be later on available also on our e-learning platform, eCampus. Yeah, so that you can review this there. Yeah, we have a lot of other training videos there as well. Yeah, so feel free to have a look onto it. If you have no credentials so far, just send us an email to campus@mobotix.com, and then we are glad to send you your personal details, and then you can log into the system. This webinar, it's a live webinar. You can ask questions. Please use this GoToWebinar app to write down your question in writing so that we can see your question, and we will come back as soon as possible to your question and to give you the respective answers. Some information about the app, what we have currently launched, or the latest apps, what we have actually. Yeah, so these apps are, of course, for the MOBOTIX 7 cameras, yeah, for the MOBOTIX 7 series cameras. And the app, what we will see today, is actually coming with the latest software release, 73042. It was launched in November 21, and it's currently available on our beta server. Yeah, so please go to our beta server. You can reach it over beta.mobotix.com. Yeah, there you will find the MOBOTIX 7 camera software and the app package. Yeah, and this app package you need to download next to this camera software. And if you open this, what I will show you in a few minutes also live, if you open this, then you can see and activate the Irisity app, so that you can also have your tests with it. Okay, and the first thing what we want to see here in this presentation part are the presentations from Irisity, from the company, and it's Liv Cichon who will present these, who will introduce us, the company. Yeah, so with this word, I want to hand over to Liv and give her the moderation rights. So let me just do this. Let me just give here the presentation rights to Liv. Yes. And then we will see her screen and we can listen and have a look to this presentation.
Yep.
Okay, we see
okay,
it already?
Perfect. Let me just make this big screen here. Okay. So you can see the presentation and you can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Then thanks again, Thomas, and I would like to welcome everyone from my side as well. Thank you for joining this call. As we've mentioned, the focus of this webinar today will be the Intrusion Detection app, which is available on the MOBOTIX 7 series cameras. And I know that many people in this call might already be familiar with Irisity as a company, so I will keep this introduction very short. So to start, Irisity is a originally Swedish company. You can see on the image our headquarter. It's in Gothenburg in Sweden. And we have started developing video analytics in the year 2006 and have since grown into a global company with about 100 team members across 6 countries now. So the core idea of our business, what we're doing, has from the beginning been to think about the thousands of cameras which are installed in the world and which are relatively passive, and help to transform those into intelligent alarm devices, which can understand and also detect what is going on in the camera view. So you don't have to rely on just manual monitoring or motion sensors or forensic search tools, but instead you will get alerts when something is happening in real time and with the cameras that you are already using. And the key to success for these types of technologies is, of course, that they have to be extremely accurate, or else they wouldn't be very useful in a real life environment. So we started early on with the detection of humans and human-powered motion. So that could be trucks or cars or other vehicles. And we wanted to offer all of that for realistic conditions. So outdoor environments, long distances, any weather and light conditions, and also low resolution and low bandwidth. And as you can see here on the picture, you can choose to set flexible zones wherever they are needed. You can give each zone its own surveillance goals, schedule, and recommended actions. And once the analytics are active, you will then get detections on whatever you are looking for. That's the basic concept. And I will get back to this intrusion detection in a minute. I just also wanted to mention that we have since grown our product portfolio pretty extensively, and we now have a range of intelligent algorithms available. All of those are based on deep neural networks, which means that through machine learning, the algorithms learn and train with each environment that they are connected to, and they get more and more intelligent and precise over time. And since we've been doing this for many years, most of these solutions now, they can be installed immediately. They will run without any additional training. And depending on what is most relevant and what's most interesting to our partners or customers, there's a good chance that more of these intelligent solutions will be available as embedded apps on MOBOTIX cameras in the near future. Now, to complete this introduction, I thought I would go into a bit more detail with 4 of our solutions. And of course, I will start with the intrusion detection since this is the focus. But all the other algorithms that I'm talking about are also immediately available, either as a cloud-based solution or installed on a server. And then you can connect them to any type of MOBOTIX camera that you might have installed today, so different series, different models. When we think of intrusion detection, what we're essentially looking for is human-powered motion. So it could be people themselves, but it could also be vehicles which are crossing zones where they should not be. And there are, of course, many solutions for this one on the market, including, for example, optical or physical motion sensors. But the big difference is that our intrusion detection is based on a deep neural network, as I mentioned, which has been trained for over 16 years now on thousands of cameras. So the accuracy has been increased a lot. And our analytics is also based on different types of intelligence. So we don't just understand that there is some type of motion in the picture, but we're also looking at the height of the person, how they are moving, and the overall size and position of each object to confirm in multiple analysis steps that this is really a person or a vehicle and not something else moving in the image. And all of this, what I described now, happens in just a few split seconds. So as an end user, you still receive the alarm in real time, and you can react on it when the intruder is still in the location. That's the intrusion detection. Another solution that we have available today, and that might also be available as an embedded app soon, is our loitering detection. So this is essentially a solution which looks for people that are lingering in an area for an unusually long time. And our customers use this a lot in public spaces, for example, schools and kindergartens. Those are very prone to, damage or graffiti, especially at nighttime. But we also have industrial customers or large businesses who use a loitering detection in combination with an intrusion detection to have an even safer perimeter security. And I've mentioned that we work with schools and other public locations. We actually also had a webinar about that in the past with our collaboration with MOBOTIX in over 100 schools here in Sweden. And in order to install our solutions in these kind of sensitive locations, we often recommend using our anonymization filter. This offers different levels of pixelization or also blurring of people in the image. So if you're looking at the image, you can still understand what is going on, but it is impossible for you to recognize a face or to identify a person. And this is something that you can use again as a cloud-based or server-based addition to your MOBOTIX cameras, but it is also in the pipeline to become an embedded app in the near future. And last but not least, I wanted to show one of our newer behavior-focused algorithms. This is our fall detection, which essentially understands the positioning of the different joints in the human body, and it can detect when a person is laying on the ground and not getting up immediately again. So this is a solution which makes sense for public spaces like train or bus stations, where it would be really unusual for a person to lay on the ground, but also, of course, healthcare environments. So if you're using cameras to safeguard patients, then you might really need a quick alarm if somebody's laying on the floor. And now, besides these, I wanted to show some real examples of alarm clips that our algorithms have generated on customer premises. The first one is an example which we had actually shown in a previous webinar as well. So the idea here was to install a MOBOTIX camera at the beach and detect if a person is walking into the water at nighttime. And the challenge here is, of course, first of all, the distance, and then also to not be distracted by water movement or light distractions. And this worked really well with the intrusion detection. Another example is this construction site here, where we wanted to detect pretty basic if people are on the premise at night and you see where the person is jumping out from their hiding place, and then when they're detected. And this is really a perfect use case because it's really clear in which zones and in which times there should be no one in this location. So in case there is somebody walking around, you definitely want an alarm to take a look at the situation. So there you go. The yellow box indicates the detection, and then the person leaves the zone again. The third clip is something else. This is an example of our flame detection, which is based on the visual characteristics of a flame. So we need an optical color image, such as here, and then we can detect if there is a flame anywhere in the camera view. We use this outdoors and on long distances where it would be difficult to use other types of flame or smoke detection systems. And this one here is again a intrusion detection. It's a parking lot of a business where the goal was to protect the perimeters at night. And I will play this again and just pause it because it can be a little bit tricky to see. So here in the top right corner, you see this yellow box that is indicating the detection. And there's a person walking into the zone. They're walking their dog at night. And as soon as the person crosses the surveillance zone, they are detected, despite the obviously quite difficult light conditions on this location. The same here. We have an industrial site, an entrance, and a person walking in the back. So there is an alarm from the intrusion detection, and the guard receives this alarm and can take a look at what's going on. And the last one that I wanted to show is our anonymization. So you see that these people are, let me go back, these people are pixelated. They're hanging around in a schoolyard. And and we had the intrusion detection active. So an alarm was created and a security guard could see what is going on, but could not identify the people in the image, which would not be allowed on a Swedish schoolyard. And I'm sure it's same in many other countries. So this is really all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to Irisity. We have plenty of customers in the world. So if you have questions about the potential customers or application areas, we can help out with that and recommend which industries we think react really positively to these solutions. And with that, I would like to move to the second part of this webinar and talk about the actual embedded app, which we have been developing between Irisity and MOBOTIX, and how you can use this app. And before I hand over back to Thomas, I just wanted to show this, that essentially our analytics system is linked in between the cameras, which you have installed somewhere, and the video management system, which can be used to receive and handle alarms. As I mentioned previously, our analytics can run as a standalone solution, so either in the cloud or on a server, or also fully offline on the premise. But what we want to show today is really you can use all of these functionalities now by just using the embedded app inside your camera. And these are a few pointers about the app. You can also find them on the MOBOTIX website. Essentially things that we've already spoken about now, but I can just point out again, what we do is we detect people and vehicles, recommended down to 20 by 20 pixels, could also be smaller in certain cases. That means that you can safeguard pretty large areas depending on your camera configurations. And the goal is, of course, then to send accurate alarms for these events. And you can use the MOBOTIX infrastructure and the interface that you are already used to handle the incoming alarms. At the moment, we're using this for optical sensors, but in just a few days or weeks, we will also release this for thermal sensors. And then we will release a camera tempering detection, which understands if the camera position itself has changed, or the lens has been covered or has been damaged. So you can also get an alert on that. And from there, we will continue to develop and release more and more of these embedded apps, depending on what is most interesting and relevant to the market. Yeah, and that's my part. And with that, I would like to hand back to Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Liv. Can I add something to the last page? To one page before, please. If you go one page back.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, so I wanted to point out something here, because what we see here is actually this technology, what we actually have in our portfolio. Yeah, so MOBOTIX was from the beginning developing the so-called decentralized system. Yeah, so this means we have cameras where you have the complete intelligence in the cameras. Yeah, so from the beginning, the camera was doing all the things in the camera. We don't need to use any servers whatsoever. Yeah, and this is now the next step, what we have now with our MOBOTIX 7 platform, that we can upload apps into the cameras so that we enhance these functionalities, that we make it even smarter. Yeah, and now we have this very smart app from Irisity, what can actually work in the camera. Yeah, so we don't need to use any servers. This is actually running, the software is running in the camera, and it's processing this analytics, this neuronal network in the camera. Yeah, so this is actually here this outstanding thing. And of course, like we see here in this image, this is running in the camera. Yeah, but of course you can use every video management system to see and to show the results, what we have here. Yeah, so this can be a very comprehensive system like Milestone, yeah, or MOBOTIX Hub. But this can also be this Iris Open API. Yeah, so this is also an option, or our free of charge management center software, yeah, where we can also see and playback and analyze all the events what have been coming. Yeah, so this is actually here this advantage what we have. This is a system what we call day of today edge technology, that everything is in the camera, is running in the camera, is making the camera so intelligent, like Liv was saying. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to add this to this page.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, then I would go ahead with a live presentation, with a short live presentation of our functionality. Therefore, I am first changing here the settings so that I am, that I am here the presenter again, show my screen. And now you should see my screen, yes. And
yes.
I switch over to my software. So what we see here now is our software, our management center software. Yeah, so this is the software from MOBOTIX, what is free of charge. Yeah, people can download this, install it on their PCs, and then they can watch and play back all the MOBOTIX camera footage what is there. And here we have currently here an M73 camera in the image. Yeah, so this is one of the cameras, like you can see it here in my on my desk. Yeah, so this is actually this MOBOTIX M73 camera, and this camera is mounted on a pole here in the room, in around about 3 meters high, and overviewing this room, what we see here. Yeah, and now I want to show you how easy it is to start to activate this app, and also how to configure this app. Yeah, and therefore I want to change here from this image from the management center. I want to switch from management center to the browser, what we can do with a shortcut. Yeah, I have it now open twice. I just need it one time. And here we see this camera signal. So this is actually also a possibility with our cameras. You can always open this in the browser and can use the browser to monitor the signal. And now we want to do the configuration. Yeah, and therefore we go into the menu, what we can open here in the upper left corner. And what we need to open is the setup menu, because everything what has to do with events, yeah, and sensors in the camera is under the setup menu. And if you open this, you can see all the different sections. Yeah, so there are sections for the image control, for the general events. Yeah, and what is very special, and yeah, let's say special thing of the MOBOTIX 7 series are these certified app settings. So I click onto this. Then we have a long list of all the apps what are coming with our software. You can see a long list with apps what you can start, where you can start the trial. Yeah, and you just need to click on one of these buttons to activate the trial period. Yeah, this trial period is a 30-day trial period. Yeah, where you can check if this app is fitting to your to your application. And if you have pressed this button, then this app is getting active. Therefore, you can see then a link. You can click onto the link in order to open the configuration of this app. Yeah, and then we are coming into the app configuration, what we see here in this next page. So, and now we have just a few parameters what we have to set up. Yeah, of course, we need to enable our intrusion detection. Yeah, so this is clear. In the next thing, we need to say what sensor do we use. Yeah, so we have actually in the camera 2 sensors, and we can use the right or the left one. Here we are using the right sensor to make this analysis. And I would say these are the only settings what we need to do. These are the human size selectors. Yeah, because we need to tell the camera and this app what is the biggest appearance of a human and what is the smallest appearance. Yeah, and therefore we can click onto this edit rectangle button. Yeah, and now we see that we have already here a rectangle. Yeah, what I have prepared, and this is now exactly the size of a human body if it's close to the camera. I can walk in front of this to show you that it's fitting. So this is approximately the size of the human body if it's close to the camera, so the biggest appearance. Yeah, so this is something what we need to set up. This is one thing. And I need to click onto this checkbox in order to confirm this. And then I need also to do a second one for the smallest appearance in the image. Yeah, and I have also tried this here in the back because this is the farthest point here in the room. Yeah, so and this is of course I don't need to go into this place again. Yeah, you will believe me that this is the size of the human body on the far end. So these are the things what we need to set up. And the third thing is actually our intrusion zone. Yeah, so also here it's very easy. We just need to click this edit polygon button, and then we can draw a zone. Yeah, I have already prepared this, and this zone can just be changed, yeah, by shifting these buttons here to a certain point, and then we can have different zones. Yeah, like Liv was showing this, you can have also multiple zones with different settings. Yeah, and this is now our detection zone, what we want to use. So I click again onto this submit button to confirm this. Yeah, and also then we have done this. So, and this was the most important thing. Then we have just two more settings. Yeah, these are the cool down parameters. So what does it mean? It means after the algorithm has detected a certain object, yeah, or an intrusion, it will wait a certain time. Yeah, because it's already detected. We don't need to have this alarm again and again and again. Yeah, because if an object was detected, it's there and it will move. Yeah, and this is actually the time until this algorithm waits to make a second alarm. Yeah, so this is meant with cooldown time. So, and we have this for the certain object. Yeah, and this is currently set to 20 seconds. So after the object is detected the first time, the algorithm waits 20 seconds before it will start another alarm on this object again. Yeah, and we have this again here for the alarm zone. Yeah, so the alarm zone is now waiting for 5 seconds until another object will come in, yeah, and will also create an alarm. So we have these cooldown times, and they are set to some practical parameters here, 5 seconds and 20 seconds here. Another setting what we have here is actually the visual overlays. Yeah, so for the setup of the camera, it makes sense to activate all these overlays to see what's going on. Yeah, later on you can deactivate this. Here it's showing us, for example, the alarm zones and these things. Yeah, so after everything is set, yeah, what was not much, you click onto the set button. Yeah, and then we go one step back, because here in this list where we see all the all our apps, we need to activate this app also from the camera alarming settings. So I need to check in this box here, say set, in order to send this command to the camera, and then close in order to store the complete configuration. And what we see now is that we have here a blue line along this intrusion detection zone. Yeah, and if I walk now into this zone, we should get an alarm. So let me just do this. Yeah, I will just here go into this region. You can see that there are already boxes around me, so the camera is already detecting something. Yeah, and as soon as I walk now into the zone, we are getting the first alarm. Yeah, so the system needs to have an activity, a human activity of 3 seconds, and then it triggers the alarm. So I will get to the far end, wait some seconds. So, and now I walk into the zone again, yeah, to show you that I don't need to be completely in the zone. So I walk into the zone, Aha, and already detected. Yeah, so you could see also I was not completely in there, just my trousers, yeah, my legs and nothing more. It was already yeah, alarming that somebody has yeah, entered this alarm zone. So I want to show you now also the same thing on the far end. And you could see that also here on the far end, it was really accurately alarming that there was somebody entering the zone. Yeah, so this is actually one of the really big USPs. We have a very robust sensor, what is actually not creating false alarms, what is also very important. Yeah, and on the other hand, we can really accurately recognize the object and get an alarm. Yeah, so this is actually here the setting. And what you can also see is even if we have, for example, here outside, when we have cars driving there, that there is some object recognition. So also for these very small things, yeah, it recognizes something. And if I, for example, yeah, hold my hand here a little bit higher, yeah, also the camera draws a rectangle. So this is also recognizing, yeah, that this is something here, an object, and this is then classified. Yeah, so very nice, very accurate and robust software what we have here in our MOBOTIX 7 series camera. Okay, yeah, so far about this live presentation. I think, yeah, from my side, I can't show you anything more because it's so easy to do the setup here. We don't need to do something else other than just setting up these few parameters, and then the system is running. If you have questions, feel free to ask your question. I have seen there was already the first question coming. What was more or less a question about the general question. It would be very interesting to have this webinar in French. Yes, I would like to inform my colleagues, my French colleagues from France, to all also provide this in French language. Yeah, so this will be provided, and then of course we can also, yeah, inform also all the French customers about this. Yeah, everybody, if there is a question, feel free. Yeah, do not hesitate. Just write your question into the box here. And maybe in the meantime, I will show you one more thing, because what we have seen is now on the M73 camera, yeah, and also on the S74 camera working, but we have also launched a very new model. This is the Q71 camera. Yeah, this was also launched yeah, lately. And this camera is also a MOBOTIX 7 camera where you can upload apps into it. Yeah, and the nice opportunity is this is coming with hemispheric lens. Yeah, this means you can install it on the ceiling, and from the ceiling you can monitor the whole room. Yeah, and this makes it ideal for this fall detection. Yeah, so for healthcare applications, this is the ideal thing. And you can even use this during day and night, yeah, because it's a day and night sensor. It's also coming with illumination, infrared illumination during the night, white illumination also for the day sensor. Yeah, so this can help us a lot in order to protect people in healthcare situations. Okay, so far so good. Liv, I don't see any more questions in the moment. So
everything is clear.
it seems everything is clear. Then I would say we can close the webinar. So I want to say thank you to everybody for the time you have spent, for your interest. I hope it was interesting. And I also want to say thank you to Liv, who was making a really nice presentation. Thank you, Liv. And yeah, maybe I give the word to you.
Yeah, same from me. Thank you for listening in. And if you come up with any questions afterwards, you can always contact, you know, your regular people at MOBOTIX, or you can also reach out to us if you have something specific about our solutions, and we can help you out with that. So that would be my final words for this.
Thank you so much. So let's close with this words. I wish you all a nice and healthy day and see you the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.